I'll probably go to sword collector's hell for this. Alright folks, before we get to the action, I just want to say thank you to every single one of those 1 million people who at some point decided that my content was worth subscribing to. Despite all the issues that have been plaguing YouTube lately, this is a gigantic milestone. And I would have never thought when I started the channel back in 2007 that I'd ever be here. It's astonishing. So I've been thinking for a long time about how to best celebrate this, and I wanted something that might get a chuckle out of long-term subscribers, but that would also be interesting for newer people. So I look back to a video I published in 2014, a review of the Reaver Cleaver by Zombie Tools, when I had the glorious idea to shoot it because of how sturdy it seemed. And yeah, it didn't quite go the way I intended, because I was rushing through it. We were dealing with summer heat and we were being eaten by mosquitoes, and we just wanted to be done with it. So we didn't ramp it up gradually going from one caliber to the other, but went directly to 7.62 by 39, fired through an SKS on the blade that was lodged in a block of wood, so it didn't have anywhere to go, and yeah, things happened to it. So I wanted to do that again, but better and smarter. If you've ever wondered if it would be possible to deflect a bullet with a blade in real life, this video is for you. The first attempt was unsuccessful because I tried it with the Sony RX100 Mark V, and it just doesn't get high enough in FPS. The highest it can do is 960 FPS, which is just not enough to capture the bullet in flight, and you couldn't really see much of anything. But then I got the Chronos, which is much more potent. So I learned from my past mistakes, started out with 9mm, and set up the target in such a way that it has some give and can rock back. I didn't hit the edge straight on, but the side of it. It skipped off here. In the slow-mo footage you've seen it better than I can. But it looks like that's what happened. And the knife is fine. Not what I was going for at all. See, it must have come in at an angle and broken out part of the edge there. But that's the problem. If the bullet comes in perfectly centered right on the edge, it's fine. The edge can withstand that and won't be damaged. But if it comes in at an angle, you're kind of screwed. Next up, I tried the 4570 with a 405 grain lead bullet over 70 grains of FFG black powder. can see there is some rubbed off lead on both sides of the blade. Seems pretty equal. It looks like I got it the way I want it. Let's inspect the damage here. Okay, so the edge was definitely flattened to an extent. Let me see if I get... There we go. There it is. But that's pretty minor, really. That is no big deal, considering that I just shot it with a black powder 4570, which is no joke. It's no joke on the shoulder either. So I'd say this thing held up pretty damn well. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's perfectly repairable. This was a modern but light 4570 load. A 350 grain copper jacketed bullet with 15 grains of Hodgdon HS6 smokeless powder. At first it looked like it missed, but I think I actually got a bit of a glance here. Smokeless loads seem to be impacting a little differently than black powder, which is not really surprising. Alright, that one was a little off center. Nothing on the right side here, but the bullet went off to the left. And again, very minimal damage. A glance can actually be more dangerous for the blade, because that might break pieces out of it. But that held up fine. The thinner part up here was damaged a little more than further down, which of course makes perfect sense. Thicker steel, more material. Okay, so I realize I'll probably go to sword collector's hell for this, but you only hit 1 million subs once. Oh, it's a terrible idea. Okay, even though I did the preliminary tests with the knives that worked pretty well, I'm still kind of scared of what I will find. Let's take a look. There it is. I know the sword moved and all. Oh, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? 0 damage. Absolutely nothing. Huh. It glanced off to the right. It wasn't a center hit, which, you know, makes it even more amazing that nothing really happened. I can see, you know, there's, with the way the light is reflected on the blade, I can see that there is some kind of microscopic bend in the edge. I have no idea if you can see that. I can see that ever so slightly, but that's next to nothing. Wow. 4570 black powder. Brighton is still going strong. Nice. Okay, I tried my best to align the edge with my shooting platform here and face it straight on so it doesn't go at an angle, hopefully. And we'll see if I'm successful. Now I am a little worried. I could see the sign of the hit from all the way over there, so we may have bad news. Actually, that's not too bad. I mean, we've got some damage here, but that's the kind of damage that can happen in a sword fight too. Now, the notch is maybe a little wider than what you would normally get from a sword, but that's still reasonable, so to speak. And you can see here, it's about a quarter or less of the bullet went off to the right, and the rest was severed and flew off to the left. So this was a much more substantial hit. And I think that's enough. The sword has proven itself. It's got a battle scar, but other than that, it's still fine. And I think we'll leave it at that. So as you can see, angle really matters. If you could catch a bullet exactly dead on in the center of the edge, it could cut the bullet in half with minimal damage to the edge, which was a little difficult for me to do. Most of them were off-center one way or another, and some damage can occur, but overall not too bad really. But of course the issue is, if you had the reflexes and the supernatural speed and everything and perception to do that in real life, that wouldn't really help you a whole lot. You would get shot twice instead of once, most likely, because however many parts the bullet breaks up into, they would be thrown off, of course, but they may still hit you. If the blade is far enough out, they may get deflected enough to fly past you, but there's no guarantees, really. Even if you were capable of doing that, it still wouldn't be exactly safe. So, better chance would probably be to try to catch it on the flat of the blade, because then it would actually deflect it and make it fly off in a different direction away from you, but that also makes it more likely to break the blade. Okay then, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Have a good one, folks. At the same time, the number is it just reminds me of where I could be. 40 to 60,000 views usually on the videos lately. 4, 5, 6% of that number actually watch stuff. It's, even though 1 million subscribers is worth celebrating, it's also 5%. What does that really mean? I mean, I am grateful for it. I really am. I'm trying to be positive about it, but it can be depressing and frustrating at times.